The third observation I've made, which also repeats what Ole Jakob said, is that POC has been freed from buzzwordism. When we applied for this project, there was sort of a reason why we applied for it. Protection of civilians was really hot back in 2010 and 11. And then it's no longer so hot, practically and sort of conceptually. But what does it mean that we're actually working with yesterday's buzzword? I still want to make the point that words have meaning and metaphors matter. When we began, the POC agenda could be seen as this sort of world-making project where the humanitarian sector or the peacekeeping sector would sort of construct this world where their organizational abilities could solve the problems, irrespective of the realities on the ground. And many of you are probably familiar with this buzzwords literature where you have sort of words that make up chains, and together they become up the policy. Around 2011 and 12, buzzwords rapidly began giving way to the dominance of resilience. And of course, humanitarian studies it's late compared to everyone else had been thinking about resilience for about 5 years, but we started about 5 years ago. So resilience is generally defined as the capacity to adapt by resisting or changing in order to reach and maintain an acceptable level of functioning and structure. I think for me, as we've gone along, the protection of civilians literature has been very self-critical about their insufficient understanding of self-protection. Most civilians don't sit around and wait for humanitarians or peacekeepers to save them, right? They are protected, rescued, and aided by their neighbors, their kin, their villagers. At the same time, there is something about this shift from a focus on someone having the responsibility to protect someone else to the crisis-affected community's ability, but mainly responsibility to do it for themselves. That really needs critical attention. Both because of the values that go into this notion of what it means to self-responsibilize, but also because the humanitarian sector and the number of, and the peacekeeping missions, they've exploded in terms of the resources available, the people on the ground, the kind of missions they're set out to do. Yes, and also with increasing bunkerization, right? So they stay in the bunker and everybody else does it for themselves.